Picture this. You're standing in a group, maybe at work, maybe with friends, and someone, with that smug smile, tries to belittle you. Their words are sharp, their tone dripping with arrogance. You feel that burning urge to respond, but something inside stops you. What if, instead of reacting quickly, you stayed so calm and confident that everyone could see you're the strongest person in the room? Today on Stoic Muse, we'll share 5 powerful Stoic phrases that can quiet arrogance, not with anger or revenge, but with wisdom sharp enough to break through ego. The last phrase? It's so quietly devastating that people often don't know what to say next. Stay until the end, because once you learn these, you'll never let arrogance control your peace again. The ancient Stoics understood arrogance better than anyone. To them, arrogance was not confidence, it was insecurity disguised as superiority. As Seneca once wrote, arrogance is the mask of a fearful soul. And isn't that true? Those who need to prove their worth to others are often the ones most afraid of facing their own weaknesses. The Stoics didn't believe in reacting to arrogance. They believed in mastering your reaction, because the moment you lose your calm, you hand over your power. So how do we do that today? Not by shouting back, but by responding with such composed confidence that the arrogant person's words fall flat on their own. Let's begin. Phrase 1. You might be right. This one is subtle, but it's pure Stoic mastery. When someone arrogant tries to prove they're smarter, they expect resistance. They want an argument. They feed off reaction. But when you calmly say, "You might be right," you stop their entire performance. It's like popping a balloon with a whisper. They expect fire, but you give them water. The arrogance deflates instantly because you're no longer playing their game. And here's the magi. See, you're not actually agreeing. You're acknowledging there's a difference. You're saying, "You can have your opinion, but it doesn't control mine." This one sentence reclaims your peace. You're reminding yourself that your value isn't measured by how loudly you argue, but by how calmly you stand. That's Stoic power in its purest form. Phrase 2, that's an interesting way to look at it. This one works like a mirror. You reflect the arrogance right back without attacking. When someone tries to impose their opinion or make you feel small, say this with calm curiosity. That's an interesting way to look at it. You shift the energy instantly. Instead of confrontation, you create reflection. You're not mocking, you're not submitting, you're transforming tension into silence. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you that matters, but how you respond to it." And this phrase embodies that wisdom. Imagine a coworker trying to lecture you in front of everyone, acting superior. You smile slightly and say, "That's an interesting way to look at it." Everyone watching will notice. You didn't bow, you didn't fight, you stayed in control. That's the kind of calm that makes people respect you without a word. Phrase 3, I'd rather listen before I speak. This one shows true strength. The arrogant love to dominate conversations. They want quick debates, fast reactions, because that's where chaos lives. But the moment you slow the tempo, you change the entire rhythm of the room. When you say, "I'd rather listen before I speak," you signal emotional maturity. You tell everyone that you value understanding over winning. It's the move of someone who controls the game without ever appearing to play it. Marcus Aurelius taught that power lies in the ability to remain unmoved. When you pause instead of reacting, you're not showing weakness, you're showing discipline. Picture an argument brewing at a meeting. Voices rise, pride fills the air. Then you say quietly, "I'd rather listen before I speak." Instant silence. Everyone turns to you, realizing that the only calm person in the room is the one truly in charge. That's leadership through serenity. And Stoicism at work. Phrase 4, we all see things differently. This phrase is elegant and disarming. It doesn't attack. It doesn't defend. It simply reminds everyone that perspective is personal. The arrogant person thrives on the illusion that their view is absolute truth. But when you say, "We all see things differently," you gently remind them, truth isn't owned by one person. Epictetus said, "It's not things that disturb us, but our opinions about them." And that's exactly what this phrase reflects. By saying it, you break their illusion of superiority without a single harsh word. Imagine a family argument where someone insists they're always right. You breathe deeply and reply, "We all see things differently." Suddenly, their tone softens. They realize there's nothing to fight about, because you've stepped out of the fight entirely. And that's what Stoicism teaches us. Sometimes the highest form of strength is gentle truth. Phrase 5, if that brings you peace, then I'm glad. This is the final strike, the most powerful one of all. The arrogant person seeks validation. They want to win. They want to prove something. But when you respond with, "If that brings you peace, then I'm glad," you reveal everything they're hiding. Their need for approval, their fragile ego, their dependence on being right. And here's the beauty. You don't even need to raise your voice. Your calmness exposes their insecurity more deeply than any argument ever could. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Your peace comes from within. Don't give it away." And that's what this phrase does. It protects your peace while reflecting their restlessness back at them. Imagine someone mocking your decision, trying to sound superior. You smile and say softly, "If that brings you peace, then I'm glad." The silence after that moment will say more than any clever comeback ever could. Because what you've just shown them is that your peace isn't for sale. These 5 Stoic phrases share one unbreakable truth. Control yourself, and you control everything. You don't need to prove your worth. You don't need to outshout arrogance. You only need to master your response. So next time someone tries to challenge you, don't fight for dominance. Stand in your calm, smile, and remember these words, because silence, spoken wisely, can echo louder than pride ever could. If you found this helpful, subscribe to Stoic Muse. Every week, we share simple Stoic wisdom to help you stay calm, think clearly, and find peace in a busy world. Because when your mind becomes unshakable, no arrogance can touch you. Now tell me in the comments, which of these phrases will you use first?